I'm giving this presentation on a frigid evening in Sun River, Oregon, to make a point that will become evident shortly. As the attendance secretary of Lapine High School and a resident of this area, I am all too familiar with chronic absenteeism and how poverty affects the absenteeism rate. It is my desire to draw attention to the correlation between chronic absenteeism and poverty. I will show the rates of chronic absenteeism and economic disadvantage in all Ben Lapine schools and focus attention on the schools in the rural area of the district. I will propose strategies to increase attendance rates and make recommendations to implement those strategies. Oregon Revised Statute has a compulsory attendance law requiring parents and guardians to send their children to school if they are between the ages of 7 and 18 years if they have not completed their high school diploma. It also defines irregular attendance as accruing 8 unexcused half-days in a 4-week period, or allowing schools to excuse no more than 5 days over the course of 3 months or 6 days over the course of 10 months. 6 months, sorry about that. The Chalkboard Project also defines chronic absenteeism as missing 10% or more of enrolled school days. Truancy, while problematic, is not an indicator of chronic absenteeism. The academic performance of students who are chronically absent suffers. This happens as early as kindergarten. By first grade, students who were chronically absent in kindergarten are behind their peers academically. Each year that a student is chronically absent increases the risk that they will be chronically absent in later grades. Students who are economically disadvantaged suffer the greatest from missing school, so it is of importance to find ways to help them attend school. Older students who are chronically absent from school are at an increased rate of participating in delinquent behavior. Finally, each year that a student is chronically absent increases the chance of departing from school without a diploma. I'm going to show you some graphs that compare various rates of chronic absenteeism and economic disadvantage within Ben Lapine schools. This is a graph of all elementary schools, with this location being Lapine Elementary School and this location being Roslyn Elementary School. This location here is Three Rivers Elementary School. Those are the 3 schools that are in the rural area of the district. This slide shows the Ben Lapine Middle Schools. This location right here is Lapine Middle School and shows the greatest correlation between economic disadvantage and chronic absenteeism. This slide shows the high schools in the area, and again, this is Lapine High School. The blue line is the economic disadvantage, the red line is the chronic absenteeism. And this slide is a side-by-side comparison. This is the Bend area elementary schools, the rural area elementary schools, Bend area middle schools, rural area middle schools, Bend area high schools, and rural area high schools. And the correlation is pretty obvious that the higher the economic disadvantage, the lower the attendance rate. Now, for the demographics, I think it's important to understand the demographics of the Sun River and Lapine areas, which make up the rural part of this district. The population of Sun River is 5,814. There are 2,538 households, with 537 of those households having children. The median income in Sun River is $66,010, with 16.3% making less than $25,000 and 6.3% making less than $15,000. In Lapine, there are 11,018 people with 4,462 households. 1,107 of those households have children. The median income is $46,753, with 32.7% making less than $25,000 and 16.4% making less than $15,000. People talk a lot about parental attitude and how that relates to their students' attendance, and There's a difference between generational and situational poverty as this goes. If parents don't know anyone who has had a positive experience with school and who has benefited from school, they're not likely to have a positive attitude towards school, and this gets understood by the children. People who are in situational poverty, their attitude doesn't change from the attitude that they had before. Busing and transportation is also an issue, and this is where I want to make the point. We live in an area that is very cold, probably 6 months out of the year. This is a very sparsely populated area. Sometimes children have to ride the bus or walk to the bus stop, and it's over a mile outside, walking to the bus stop and then waiting for the bus. If they miss the bus, sometimes parents don't have reliable transportation, and this has been shown to be very apparent when we have to call home for rides for sick children. And so a lot of kids miss the bus and then they can't get to school. Illness is another problem. Students who are in poverty have compromised immune systems due to stress. Another thing that interferes with attending school is the fear of being other. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is a theory of human motivation, places the need to belong right after the psychological or the physiological needs of food, water, shelter, and warmth. And we also have a high incidence of homelessness, which the homeless liaison for the district has indicated that more than 90% of students who are homeless have chronic absenteeism. Research has shown that the strategies that are most effective in improving attendance including communities and families. When everyone is on board and believes that student attendance is important and they're getting that message from different places, then attendance will improve. Attendance must be a focus even before kindergarten and even earlier if the student participates in Head Start. Mentors can help students by providing an additional positive relationship to students and act as someone who can remove barriers to regular attendance. Focusing on the positive by providing incentives and regular class celebrations has also been shown to be effective. These strategies can be implemented in the rural parts of southern Deschutes County by forming a task force comprised of school officials, parents, students, business owners, and officials. This group will be responsible to develop and promote the strategy that they develop. Schools will reach out to families in meaningful ways. These efforts will increase attendance, decrease delinquent behavior, help students who are economically disadvantaged to realize that education is important, and decrease early departure from school.